So welcome back to this third video in this series. Again, I'm looking at my PIC-based LEDs and switches circuit. We're going to simulate this circuit in Proteus by attaching a program to it. The program I'm going to use this time is a program called Proteus Switch.hex, and I will test these four switches, switch 1, switch 2, switch 3 and switch 4. And what we can do is we can open and close these switches. And when we open the switches, we'll be sending logic 1s into port A. And when we close the switches, we'll be sending logic 0s into port A. Now what should happen if this particular simulation is working correctly, and if my Proteus sheet is correct, is that we should be able to turn on diode D1, LED D2, LED D3 and LED D4 by opening and closing one of these four switches. So switch 1 should control D1, switch 2 should control D2, switch 3 should control D3 and switch 4 should control D4. So basically what we're trying to do here is we're trying to use the switches as four inputs, the LEDs D1, D2, D3 and D4, four outputs, and the input devices, the logic levels are read into the PIC microcontroller, and then those logic levels are sent out to the four LEDs. Now on the simulation here, we've got LEDs D5, D6, D7 and D8. We have no control over these LEDs at all, because I've only got four switches, one for each of the first four LEDs. Okay, let's attach the program now. So we right click, and what we want to do is we want to edit the properties as usual. So edit properties. And now what we want to do is we want to attach a program to this particular PIC microcontroller. So let's try that again, edit properties. And then we'll go in here to our folder. And once again, we may have to search. So if we go down to my computer, look in the local C drive. And if we go down here and we're looking for Proteus Boost C7 programs, so it's all alphabetical. So Proteus Boost C7 programs. And then if we look in debug, and I'm looking for Proteus Switch. So here it is here. There's loads of other programs there as well, but the one I'm interested in is Proteus Switch. I click Open, and I click OK. So that program is now attached. I'm going to press the play button down here, and let's see if we can use the switches, switch 1, switch 2, switch 3 and switch 4, to control the first four LEDs. So I've pressed play. And at the moment, all four LEDs are on. I'm just going to zoom in a little bit here. So here's switch 1, switch 2, switch 3 and switch 4. They're sending four logic highs along these lines into port A. So diode D1 is on, or LED D1 is on, LED D2 is on, LED D3 is on, and LED D4 is on. Now I'm going to close the switch 1, and LED D1 goes off. I'm going to close switch 2, and LED D2 goes off. I'm going to close switch 3, LED D3 goes off. I'm going to close LED D4, and now the four LEDs are off. I'm now going to open switch 1, the LED goes back on. Open switch 2, the LED goes back on. Open switch 3, and LED D3 goes back on. And open switch 4, and LED D4 goes on. So again, those switches are correctly simulated and are working, and as I open and close the switches, I can turn the LEDs on and off. That's an example of a very simple control system, the simplest possible control system you could really have, and sometimes